Okay, I've never had poop rolled away. I don't know what your boy is doing over there, Sadie, but my poop has never rolled away. But yeah, that's exactly the same technique that I was trained to do. I have wanted to do reaction style content for so many years. Like, I've been talking about doing this probably since 2019, and I just never do because of all the logistics of it, having somebody source what I'm going to react to, making the compilation video for me, going through, watching it, then doing the layering the footage and all of those things have literally been the reason I've not done it, because it felt too hard for Mama B and I to figure out, all right? It's amazing we've gotten as far as we have, really, truly. But we figured it out, and today I'm finally here to do a proper reaction style video, which I promise you will be the first of many. So fingers crossed you like it, because whether you do or not, I'm gonna keep doing it because it seems fun. And I have actually been on the React channel a couple of times, so I'm familiar with the vibes, and I watch a lot of reaction content. That is a big portion of what I watch on social media is reaction videos. So I'm so legit, I'm so official. I've got my headphones ready, I've got my laptop here in front of me. I can't even see the screen, but I was like, no, I need the proper vibes. I need the laptop in front of me, the whole setup. So welcome to my home studio. And today, for the first Molly Reacts video, we are reacting to the goodest boys and girls in Guide Dog Land. I had somebody source a bunch of different short form content of guide dogs being good guide dogs for me to react to, and I'm very excited because we know on this channel we're big fans of the service doggies. And if you have videos you want to see me react to in particular, or a type of style of reaction you want to see from me, go ahead and DM me over on my Instagram. That is the best place where I will actually see it in the DMs. So head over there, send me your stuff. And without further ado, the headphones are going in, and I'm going to attempt this reaction style stuff. So.
Hi everyone, my name's Haley. I'm visually impaired, and this is my guide dog Marley guiding me at
Marley is such a cute guide dog name.
We were on our way to a service dog relief.
We all know guide dogs can have some wacky names. That's a really cute one.
Area that's located right behind the Figment ride. Guide dogs can be specially trained to locate places or items for their blind handler using a technique called back chaining.
Oh.
This is the same.
Back chaining? I have quite literally never heard that term. That's interesting. Back chaining. Full disclosure, I follow a lot of these creators, so I may have seen these videos pop up on my feed. I have not seen this video. I know I do follow this creator. She makes great content. I'll have all of the creators featured linked in the description bar below in case you want to check them out, follow them, go support them and their content. I have never heard that term before. Different guide dog schools, different trainers are gonna have different lingo sometimes. I feel like for the most part, the language transfers. For me, it's a bit weird because my school is in Quebec, so all of my training is in French. So not only are my commands in French, but when I talk with my trainers about training techniques and stuff, they're speaking in English, which is not their native language for 99% of them. I've only ever had one trainer at Mira who was a native English speaker, and French was her second language. So sometimes things get lost in translation. So when I talk about training techniques or styles and lingo, sometimes it does differ, but back chaining, that's fascinating. Like I call it when I train my dog to find a specific thing. Like if I train Elton to find the stairs, I didn't train that. He knew how to do that. But if I trained Elton to find the treadmill at my gym, which is something I've been doing lately, I would call that targeting, like he's targeting that. I'm very intrigued by this back chaining.
Way that guide dogs can be trained to find chairs, doors, or trash cans. So I applied this technique to teach Marley how to find the service dog relief areas that are located around each of the Disney theme parks.
Wow.
And look at this cute little girl.
She must go to Disney a lot. That's wild. Whoa, that's very impressive. Good job, Marley.
Girl that did such a good job ignoring Marley. And before we know
love
it,
that. We love parents who teach their
Sometimes
children.
Having a guide dog feels like I have a built-in GPS. Hi everyone, my name's Haley.
Love that. On to the next one.
Have you ever wondered how a blind person picks up their
Sadie the
guide
blind
dog?
lady.
Well, it's deuce 30, so you gon' learn today. When Vero has to drop a load on...
Sadie is so cute. She's so funny. I Love Sadie. I actually talked about her and kind of reacted to one of her videos in this video where I talk about toxic service dog culture. So you might be familiar with her from that, or just generally because she's poppin'. But yeah, love Sadie.
On a walk, he's great about bringing me to a spot where he can do so. And as he's getting into position to poo, I get ready and put the poop bag over my hand, and since I can't see the poop on the ground, what I have to do is reach down and touch his spine and travel down his spine to where I can feel his tail meet his butt, and I leave my hand on top of his back. I don't reach down under where the poop's coming out, and then once he walks away, I bring my hand down straight to the ground, and that's where the poop will be, as long as it didn't roll away.
Okay, I've never had poop roll away. I don't know what your boy is doing over there, Sadie, but my poop has never rolled away. But yeah, that's exactly the same technique that I was trained to do. Get that bag out quick and be ready. Hand over the tail. But I think I made a video about this on my YouTube channel like years and years and years ago. This video right here. Because it's such a common question that we get asked. And truly, if we can pick up our guide dog's poop and we can't even see it, then there is no excuse for the average pet owner who leaves their poop and doesn't pick it up. And you know what? As dog owners, we have all been in that position where we thought we had a poop bag on us and we don't. And you know what you do? You stand and you wait for another dog owner to trot on by and you go, I'm so sorry, do you have a bag? And you pass it on. You know, you pass it forward. You share the love of a poop bag. I have done that so many times for other dog owners, and I've had to have dog owners do that for me. You just wait it out. I mean, obviously, worst case scenario, nobody comes by, but I feel like you gotta wait it out a little bit sometimes. I have also been in a situation where like a sighted person who's been with me has had to like find a cup on the side of the road that somebody has littered and like scoop with a cup or like find napkins and pick it up. Like I have been in scenarios where people I am with do anything it takes to pick up the poop. Pick up the poop, folks. Okay. We shall continue. That is the exact technique that I use though.
Then what I do is I scoop up the poop in the bag, I turn it inside out, and then we have to put his harness on. You don't want them to associate going to the bathroom with being in the guide harness because that's not okay.
Left, find the garbage.
True. My guide dog school does encourage you to remove the harness when the guide dog goes to the bathroom, whether it's peeing or pooping. They want you to remove the harness, give the command, in my case it's au besoin if you need, I believe is the direct translation. If you actually know French, let me know. But somebody told me au besoin means if you need, aka if you need to go, go now. Some schools use like busy, get busy, park time. That one's interesting. Let me know what your go to the bathroom command is for your guide dog down below. And yeah, so typically, but they're also like, but we know that students, when they leave, like often will let their dog go to the bathroom on harness. And I will admit, I don't let him poop on harness, but sometimes I do let him pee on harness because sometimes I'm just in a rush. Call me a bad handler if you want. But sometimes you're in a rush and you're just trying to get point A to point B. We know I travel a lot and I'm often like running to meetings, running to catch a flight. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what, you've got to go. And I don't have the time to remove and put back on. And yeah, sometimes I do let him go in harness. And you know what? It's never made or broken. How would you phrase that? Yeah. It sounds wrong. It doesn't make or break it. It hasn't you guys know what I'm trying to say. It hasn't been like the end all be all. I feel like 17 years into being a handler, you figure out what are the commands and the tasks and the things, the rules that you cannot break? And what are the rules that you can be like a little flexy on sometimes? And it also differs dog to dog. Like for example, Gallop, I could let anybody pet him in harness if I so chose because he had zero reaction. He could have cared less. Elton, that is his love language. Physical touch is his love language. And if I let people pet him when he is working, all hell breaks loose. So for him,
he heard his name.
He heard his name and he is banging on the door to get in.
I was waiting for that to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
Babaroo! Who's my Babaroos? Oh, the baby. He just put his paw on my lap. You are so cute. He hears me complimenting other guide dogs. That's probably what it is. He's like, how dare you compliment other dogs? I am the center of your universe. Okay, we shall continue.
The method I showed you is how guide dog schools teach us to pick it up. So I hope that answers any questions. Forward. Have you ever...
It also seems like her dog can find the trash, just like in the last video. That is not a command that my guide dog school automatically teaches, and I'm curious, like, tell me down below, what guide dog school did you go to, and did they specifically teach to find the garbage? Because my guide dog does do that, but that is something that I and my trainer did when, like, she came post training. So, like, after training, she does a follow-up, and we trained him to find the garbages during that, but they don't actually teach that automatically. Very curious if Sadie did that, or if her school did that, or what have you. So let me know down below.
My guide dog is not trained on escalators, so she guided me to a help point to get some assistance.
Interesting. I feel like for me personally, it's a non-negotiable that I have a guide dog that is escalator trained. My understanding is the UK don't do escalator training unless it's specifically requested. And I've heard that some US schools don't do escalator training. I've heard some schools have you put boots on the dog for escalators. Every school does it a bit differently. For me, it would be a non-negotiable because I go to so many places with escalators. Hotels, shopping malls, airports. I am just somebody who lives in a big city. I use public transit. Like, there's so many places that I need to use an escalator that having a dog that doesn't do escalators would be a big inconvenience to my lifestyle. But that's not the case for everybody. Like, there is definitely cases where there's people who would rarely come against needing to use an escalator and would likely have access to an elevator or stairs as an alternative. So having your dog trained to find an elevator instead of find an escalator, and obviously all of our guide dogs are trained to find stairs, is a great alternative. And in this case, very interesting that they've trained that to find a help desk to get assistance instead. That's super fascinating.
Hi there.
Oh.
I'm blind.
Yeah, it's the UK. That's funny because I just said the UK. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the UK only does it upon request and it's very rare. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Guide dog who can't do escalators, and I can't seem to see or navigate to where I can get out of the station.
Is this Molly?
Okay, are you okay using lift?
Lifts
Love
are fine,
Molly.
Yeah.
Okay, if I get
Molly and her dog Belle. Molly is deafblind. She has Usher syndrome. I have been following Molly like before I ever made content. We've been following each other for years. We like text back and forth. The last time I was in the UK, we wanted to meet up to make content, but ironically, she was in the US traveling, so we weren't able to. But one day, I really hope that the two Mollys will meet up and get to do content together. Love her. Go follow her. Shout out.
if I get someone to come and help you, just stay there and they'll be with you in a couple of minutes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thankful hearing aids give me ability to communicate
Oh, yeah,
over the
mentioned hearing aids,
speakerphone.
yeah.
Escalators.
It's definitely Molly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I've never had a bad experience
Yeah,
with
I-
assistance on the London Underground.
Right, Bella? All right.
Oh, sorry. The dog's Bella, not Belle. My
Yeah, no,
mistake.
she's fine. She's fine with like steps.
We were
and
at
things.
Liverpool
It's just a
Street
moving
Station. We
escalator.
had to different lifts
Yeah.
to go to in order to get out. Some guide dogs
Some
are
guide
trained
dogs
on
are trained
escalators.
to go on
Usually
them.
in the UK, this is only
not.
if you live in London. I do not. But would you believe that many underground stations do not have lifts or stationary steps? Bella can
That's a massive problem that a lot of stations in the UK don't have stairs or elevators. That's wildly inaccessible, not just to all the blind people who have UK guide dogs that aren't escalator trained, but just for anybody with any kind of mobility issue, strollers, bikes, having your suitcase, like age, that is wildly inaccessible, and I hope in the future they're able to retrofit those stations and make renovations to create spaces that are more accessible for everybody who benefits from using public transit every single day.
This is why having assistance is so important. Without the help, Bella and I would be stranded underground. Shout out to this guy at Liverpool Street. You made us feel safe, and you got us where we needed to be. Bella absolutely loves a London adventure. She helps me love it too. Because having the confidence to travel with her, be guided by her, is also having the confidence to ask for help when we both need it. She looks after me, and I look after her. It's priceless.
I think that's a good point, that like having a guide dog gives you greater independence in many cases, but that doesn't mean we don't still need help. I do feel more capable to do things on my own when I have my guide dog with me versus when I have my cane with me. Part of that is just because I've been a guide dog user for a lot longer. It's my comfort level, it's what I'm used to, and I don't feel as proficient with my cane. Especially because I'm often in new locations. I'm not somebody who has a lifestyle where I'm like going to the same office every day, going to the same grocery store regularly. Like I travel a lot and I'm in new environments that I'm unfamiliar with and have no opportunity to get O&M or orientation mobility training with, to learn and how to navigate it independently. And having my guide dog, I'm able to just be like, find the stairs, find a chair, find the door, all of those types of things. And he doesn't need to be familiar with the space to find them for me, which is great. But just because it does give us greater independence doesn't mean we can be 100% independent. If spaces aren't designed to accommodate, to be accessible, to be inclusive, to be universally accessible to everybody, then we still need help. And that's okay. And it's important, as especially young blind people, to learn how to advocate for yourself and to speak up for when you need help, and to get comfortable with receiving that from strangers. Because most of the time that I need help, it's not going to be from people I know, it's from strangers when I'm in public.
We made it.
Take care.
Time for the next cute guide dog.
I'm blind, and this is my guide dog Ava, and this is how she finds me, a member of staff, in a train station. The stripy bumpy paving lets me know that I've approached a set of stairs, and Ava pauses before each staircase to let me know we're about to walk down one. Once I hear we're inside the station, I ask Ava to find a member of staff.
Ava, can you find staff? Find staff?
Ava can recognise the staff uniform, especially the high-vis jacket.
That's really cool. I was curious like how find staff worked, because I've never intentionally trained my guide dog to use context clues essentially to figure something out, whereas that's what this is. Like, she's just in an open space saying find the staff. She's not saying go to a counter, which is what I've done in the past, is trained my dog to go to a counter where I can ask for help, say at a grocery store. When I would go grocery shopping alone, I would have my guide dog go to the help counter, and I trained him to go to that counter when we arrived. I would say, hi, I'm blind, can a staff help me do my grocery shopping? And they would. But I did not train it to just walk into the grocery store and say, find a staff. The fact that this dog can just spot a uniform and find the staff is extremely impressive.
Ava did an amazing job of navigating me through a really busy station whilst also looking for a member of staff to help us. She indicated she'd found a member of staff by slowing down and stopping, and I could overhear a conversation taking place.
Hi, can I have some help, please?
They didn't notice us at first, so I waited and asked again. This member of staff was super helpful and made sure I got on my train safely.
I feel like that's one frustrating thing about being blind and trying to get people's attention, is you can't see if or when they're looking at you or have noticed you. Like most sighted people, when they are trying to get somebody's attention, they'll like go like this, like tilt, move their head around to like make eye contact or like wave them over and do a gesture, give them a face. Like, you know, we can't do that because we can't make eye contact. We can't look at them. Like, I can hear if somebody's around me, but they might have their back fully turned to me and I'm like kind of standing there waiting, hoping they spot me. Meanwhile, they're not going to spot me because their back is facing me. And you have to try to like use your auditory listening skills to be like, does it sound like they're facing me or is their voice mumbled? Like it can be really frustrating trying to get people's attention when you can't see. And I'll admit that's something that like gives me anxiety, is like trying to wave somebody down and get their attention, or like concerned that I'm asking the wrong person. And sometimes I kind of will just like wait for somebody to notice I need help and ask me if I need help, because I just find it really difficult if I'm not going to a specific help counter. I find it difficult to flag somebody down. It's like something that makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's something that gives me a bit of anxiety, wondering like, am I flagging down somebody that is safe, that looks nice, like that looks approachable, that seems like they would help me, that doesn't look busy. So yeah, we all have our struggles, and that is definitely one of mine.
So this is how my guide dog helps me find my classrooms. So right here, she notices that there is a door open and checks to see if I want to go into it.
Left, Iris. Left.
Here, I'm just asking her to do a suggestive turn, and then once she turns left, we continue on.
I've never heard of the term suggestive turn. I don't know what that means, to be honest. Somebody inform me if you have heard that term and know what that means. I also went to high school with my guide dog, of course. I went to middle school with my guide dog. I got my guide dog, my first guide dog, Gypsy, the summer between grade 7 and 8. So I went to grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 with a guide dog. And that was at 3 different schools. All of it was Gypsy. So she had to learn 3 different schools. And for me, all through high school, my class schedule would change halfway through the year. So she didn't just have to learn like one class schedule, she'd have to relearn it halfway through the year when the semester changed. And I never like intentionally taught her my schedule. It was so incredible to me how within 1 week of my new class schedule, she would know my schedule. And like 5 minutes before the bell would go off, she would stand up. She would start to like rustle around as an accommodation at my school, because my school had about 3,000 students and 2 campuses, which meant that for some of my classes, I actually had to leave the school building, go across the field, cross a street, like an intersection, and go into the next building. It would take me more time, and when the halls were busy, it was very difficult. So an accommodation on my IEP was that I would get out of class 5 minutes early so that I was mostly navigating when the halls were empty. So she would instinctively like know the time, and she would get up and start to wrestle around. That's how I knew, okay, it's time to go. I'd pack up my stuff and we'd be on our way, and I wouldn't even have to tell her like go left, go right, find the stairs, nothing. I would give her 0 commands. She would just automatically take me to what my next class was, and I was just always so amazed and impressed by that.
So I have done clicker training with her to help me find my classroom. And also every time we go there, I tap the door and say English so that she identifies the word with the location.
Yeah, so that would be, classic targeting training. I have never used a clicker. My guide dog school doesn't use a clicker. I know some schools do, some don't. I've never used a clicker, but that is exactly how I would do target training when I'm teaching a dog intentionally to find something, like when I got Elton and was teaching him to find the garbage can when I got him home. It was just repeating the word over and over while tapping or rubbing the item and giving them a treat when they reach that item every single time, saying, garbage, garbage, good boy, garbage. And you just like keep doing that until they just know that that's what that thing is, that's what that word means. And what I always find impressive is, of course, they're targeting them to find a specific thing, and it's the same thing, and it's only that one thing that you're having them find. But when they can transfer that one thing to other spaces that you haven't trained them, like find the post is one that I use with Elton to find the button for me to push to cross the street. So we go find the post. And the fact that like I taught him to do that at one intersection, but he does that at every single intersection, right? Or like teaching them to find the accessible bathroom stall. The fact that they don't just do it in one bathroom where they've been taught, but they can then transfer that skill to every other bathroom, I find so impressive. And even 17 years into having a guide dog, having 4 incredible dogs, I'm still constantly impressed. Every guide dog has their strong skills and their weak skills, and targeting is definitely one of Elton's strongest skills. He loves obstacle training, so training in spaces with a lot of obstacles to figure out, and he loves targeting. Those are like his two favorite things to do, and he specifically loves indoor work. He's not a huge fan of outdoor work, which is just so funny. But yeah, he's an indoor boy and he loves targeting and he loves obstacles. So above and beyond all of my other guide dogs, I have taught Elton the most in terms of targeting new things. Okay, that was my first reaction video, and honestly, I had a bit too much fun. Like, this was way more fun than I thought it was. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be interesting, but, well, maybe it isn't. You guys are like, Molly, it wasn't. But I hope it was. I could have literally sat here and done this for hours. So if you could also sit and do this for hours with me and you did not get enough from this video, then come over to my Patreon, patreon.com/MollyBurke, because that is where I have the extended cut. So all of the stuff I reacted to that did not make this video is posted over there as my Patreon exclusive video for the month. So check that out. And I cannot wait to sit down and film another reaction video. You'll be seeing it if you are subscribed to this channel. Have your notifications turned on. Be on the lookout for another reaction video coming your way at some point in the future of this channel. And until next time, you can click over here to see that video where I did talk about toxic service dog culture featuring Sadie the Blind Lady, or you can click over here to see another guide doggy related video. And until next time, sending you love, and don't forget to hydrate. Okay, bye.